Hi folks, time to look in on Sophie, and this is week 12 for Sophie and Everest, of course. We're not forgetting Everest, but this is kind of interesting. Sophie's 12 weeks old now. Come here, baby. I just fed them, so yes, there's food all over her beak. Well, it's not all over, I just wiped it off. Everest. Oh, look at Everest's crest. But he's still got, see these little, he's still got quite a few down feathers. Actually, Sophie, come here, babe. She's got quite a few down feathers too on the back of her, neck. So at this point, now I really start to I'm sorry, I just got, you know what? I think pretty fast and on the fly, and sometimes I don't finish my sentences. At this point, I start to train them on this stand here. And so when I put them in the cage, I'm going to start to, see how I put a little handle here? This makes it easy to go in the cage with this. They start to recognize this because I'll feed them on this. I just fed them, obviously. I'm here at the sink. And Sophie, good girl. Huh? Sophie's my good baby. Sophie's starting to learn to step up. Can you step up, babe? Come on. Up. 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 Good girl. Good girl. Down. 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 I start to teach them down too, up and down. So then when I go back to the cage, I can get them in the cage because they start learning that. And Sophie's, actually Everest was on the floor of the table. He crawled out of his bin, and I was just coming down the stairs. Sophie took a fly over here to the to the cabinet and landed on a cabinet, and then as soon as I put her down on this stand that I'm starting to use, and I looked over and Everest was on the floor, and I thought, oh my goodness, he climbed out of the bin today. So see, things will accelerate because she teaches him, and and there are copycats when they're like this, so but he's actually he's within just a few grams. I didn't weigh them this morning, but yesterday I weighed them, or the day before, and he was 550 and she was 570. She's really stable at 570. That's why I kind of quit weighing her every day, because she's been like that for about a week or two. So I do every couple of days. Let's just make sure everything's in order. That's kind of how I do it. And did I lose the battery on my light? No, we still got light. Okay, sorry folks, I get distracted easy. So 12 weeks for Sophie, 9 weeks for Everest, and like I told you, by the time Everest is 12 weeks, you won't see any difference. It's, as a matter of fact, it starts to get excuse me. It starts to get kind of difficult for me to tell them apart, like when they're sitting there in the cage, and of course they are banded, so sometimes I actually do have to look down and see who's 88 and who's 89, so and also notice on Everest's forehead, notice all the gray. He actually has quite a few gray feathers. Come here, boy. Let's see this. Come here. Come here, let me see your head. See? he has actually quite a few little gray feathers up here. What? Yes, yes. So, so yeah, it's at this stage of the game. We're yeah. Well, this is still formula, you know, still formula in the in the morning, and then it's put food in the cage and the bin, and I had Sophie in the cage most of the day yesterday because I had people over, and and I was in and out of the house, so Sophie's getting a little bit of knowledge about the cage, to where she's you know, it's a big cage. My cages are very good size, and I make them myself, and they're bigger than the Preview Silverado, a little bit bigger, but just about that size. And so the next steps going on here is going to be getting them to step up on the training perch here, and then what I do is, you know, like, okay, so now that I've fed them, I can just leave them sit out now, and they're, you know, I give them a little something to chew on. I have to kind of refresh that thing. That was part of some toy, and like, I am very judicious when I have rope, and I watch the birds. I don't want them to get their foot caught in there and to have any kind of issues. So I do worry about I do worry about the foot, because you can see he's putting his foot through that right now. So I actually have some hemp rope out in the garage, which I think is a little bit better choice. But you know, no, I watch him when I have those kinds of things around, and I need to redo that. So sorry for the bad example, but I am mindful of that. Just to make sure we don't have any accidents. I don't leave them like that and go to work, you know, because I'm home all day. This is my job, so if you could call it that, this is doing what you love. And I realize everybody doesn't get a job like that, that's for sure. But just at that point in my life where I can do what I love, take the time that I want, you know, devote the attention that I want to the babies, and you know, so that is living the dream. Except for Josie. Josie will shatter my eardrums. But I've done that since I was 16 years old too, right? With my electric guitar, my Marshall amp, and things like that. So, haha. Don't get a break. There's no break from it. Folks. I don't know. That's the kind of mood I'm in today. So, look how beautiful they are, aren't they? It's just like the blue around the eyes. And like you may not have watched all my videos, but the blue around the eyes signifies the Triton Cockatoo. So they are a greater sulfur crested, of which there are 3 subspecies. There's the greater sulfur crested, there's the Triton, and there's the Eleonora. And the Eleonora is slightly smaller than the Triton, and the Triton is slightly smaller than the greater sulfur crested. And the Australian, the biggest one is the Australian greater sulfur crested, and this one is from New Guinea and some of those surrounding islands, and off the in Indonesia area. And so this is the Triton subspecies, and the Eleonora is also one that's geographically found from the Indonesian islands. I don't know which islands exactly, but I do know that the mainland Australian bird is not a Triton, and that's not what this is. And to let you know, the United States quit importing birds in 1992. So all the birds, most of the birds that you see in the U.S. Have been here for quite a while. I mean, you have to have basically a 40-year-old bird to have been imported. You know, all the birds. So all the the 20-year-old birds and the 10-year-old birds, and of course my babies are hatched at my house because I have the parents. I'm not fostering these. I am a small breeder. I did do some foster care for a local another breeder, a friend of mine, and where I did the macaws, and because he had seen my videos on the Cockatoo and said, "Hey, do you think you could help me out with these macaws?" I said, "Sure, yeah, I'd love to. I love the big birds are my specialty, and I have a lot of macaws. I actually have 12 macaws at my house, and I have five pair, and then I have Josie and Poppy up here, which are just Josie lost her mate, and Poppy is just friends with Josie. Poppy is a green wing, and Josie is a hyacinth. So that's what all the noise is in the background at times. But you don't hear the rest of them because they're all downstairs in my lower level of the house. That's the bird area. That's the breeding area. So back to Sophie. Sophie will start more on eating, and she's also I will let them still sit out as much as possible. And 12 weeks old, I'm looking at her weaning probably being about 18 to 20 weeks. Everest is going to be about that same time too, but he's really catching on quick as he kind of hangs out with her, so he's going to be eating a little earlier, and she's going to be hand feeding a little longer, which is just fine. That's just how we do it. We slow down and for one, and try to keep everybody together. Man, they're beautiful. So folks, yeah, today is we're just kind of getting going. That was the morning feeding that I just did, and it's I'll let them hang out here, and then I'm gonna start cutting some vegetables and some sweet potato and apple, oranges, mixed vegetables. I mix that all up, and then I'll give that to everybody today, and we'll see how they do. And maybe I'll redo the end of that put a little bit more interesting of a toy on this the end of this thing. Maybe I'll put a few wooden little items for her to chew on. She's not really chewing on wood too much yet. You know, that comes with time. So folks, this is the awesome update on the babies. So Everest is doing that little beat grinding thing. He's just about ready to close his eyes and go to sleep. I suppose. See, I fed them about 15 minutes ago. They're just, it's just kicking in now that they're full, you know. All right, that's it for today. I want to thank you for watching and thank you for listening, especially to my rambling on. All right, we just love this, folks. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Bye.